Hi everybody and welcome to this evening's Star Group team training webinar. Thanks to everybody for joining us here. We have got a bit of a delay, but it would be really good if you could just pop in the chat box, just to let me, just put a yes in there, just to let me know that you can hear me. That would be brilliant. And then I know I'm not talking to myself, but I'll keep on talking, assuming that you are all able to hear me and see me. So I will start first of all by just giving you a kind of an overview of my story and how I got started in Clean Easy. Basically, when I got started, it was because I was looking for something completely different to what I was doing. I was a solicitor, had been a solicitor for 8 years, and was completely fed up of working, being chained to the desk. That's how it felt, getting undervalued and working very hard while my little children were at home. After I'd had the children, things changed a lot for me. My priorities changed, and the career, thanks guys, the career didn't any longer really, it didn't seem valuable to me anymore. I just wanted to do something from home that I could do around the children. So like many people, I looked at lots of different opportunities, things that I could do from home, and Clean Easy kept coming up on top every time. So I did quite a lot of research into it before I decided that I was going to get going, but the facts really do speak for themselves with Clean Easy. It's a great company, and it was quite clear right from the word go. The support is fantastic as well. So I got myself up and running, and just basically followed the system, just did what I was told, I like to think anyway, and built myself a customer base using the catalogues. So within 3 months, I think, of being with Clean Easy, I had packed in my job. I saw that it was going to earn me enough to sustain me and the kids, so that was enough for me. I earned £232 in my first 3 weeks. That was just from delivering catalogues. So not a bad start. I was happy with that. It showed that it worked. So 3 months on, I was out of my job, just building Clean Easy around the children, took them out of nursery so that they could stay at home with me, and we just built the business together, really. A few months on, about 6 months further on, I'd built the income up to over £800 per month, which again was great, and we've just been building ever since, really, and loving it. It's been a great journey, and I'm happy to be sharing it with other people now. So that's a bit about me. What I will just say before we get on with the slides is we are live, so if I get booted out, please don't worry, I will return as soon as I can. And if anyone does get logged out themselves, we'll just put that down to internet gremlins, so please do log back in as soon as you can. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my slides with you, and we're going to do a little bit of recognition before we get going. So just bear with me while I do that. Okay, there we go. So, oops, gone one step too far. There we go. Sorry, I should have mentioned that I would disappear from the screen while the slides come up. So first of all, we would like to welcome some new starters that have joined in the last week or so. So quite a few names here. So let's just run through some welcomes. So welcome to Ashley Skip, to Lisa Eddington, Daniela Harvey, Derek Spicer and Patricia Cook, Lewis Gould, Lisa O'Neill and Michelle Nichol, Mike Hewitt and Claire Milburn, Nikisha Ellis and Keemar Thompson, Paul Ward, Rosie Hildersley, and Stephanie and Daniel Morley. So welcome to all of you. And well done placing first orders in the last week. We have Jillian Mitchell, Christian Vati, Darren Lyons, Danny Harvey and Kevin Harvey. So well done to you guys placing your first order. It feels great, doesn't it? And it's a fantastic milestone. I'm sure it will be the first of many. Congratulations also to Richard Taberner and Andy Davies on placing their second orders and receiving 50 free books. So this is one of the incentives that Clean Easy put on for everybody getting started in the business. You receive 50 free catalogues every time you place an order of £150. So fantastic, well done to you guys. We'd also like to say a big well done to Ashley Skip, who has sponsored her first team member. Now, this is absolutely fantastic for Ashley because she actually did this on her very first day in the business. She got started to mainly focus on online sales to build her online business. And she had a lovely lady who she knows very well. It's actually her partner's mum. She had her in mind straight away and signed her up on her very first day in the business. So way to go, Ashley. That's fantastic. That's just the way to do it. So congratulations to you. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the main part of the evening, which is the training. And tonight I'm going to share with you some tips all about Facebook selling and this kind of new phenomenon on how to build your business online. So I'm going to cover hopefully some practical pointers and some of the basics as well on how you can use online sales to build your income. So first of all, let's look at some of the online sales successes that we've seen recently. This, you'll probably notice I've stolen this from Craig Skellen, but I think it's just a fantastic slide, a fantastic picture here. Unfortunately, it does say new starers, but I think we all know that it means new starters and their results in the last 4 weeks. So he published this on Facebook at the end of last period. So we can see some fantastic figures here. So this top lady started in March and has done £4,308 in online sales just in those first 3 months. Now that's pretty good going, and online absolutely fantastic, but then the figures just get better and better. So we have started February £6,968 in online sales. This is just online. And started in March, £6,392. Absolutely brilliant. So there's some real inspiration there for anyone who is now looking to get going with online sales, or who is joining now to just focus on online sales or to do that with the catalogues. It's really, really an exciting time for everybody. And we'll take another look at the first month earnings in a moment. So here are the figures again, just broken down. So we've also got Siobhan Doyle, who did £2,277 in her first 4 weeks. That was her picture on the slide we've just seen. So again, just from online sales, you know, that's more than £500 per week just from the internet. Then we've got Donna Thomas, £1,267 in her first 4 weeks also. So this is a really, really powerful way to generate orders. Then we have to mention Hayley Nourish, a member of the Star Group, who has had a blinding last few days. She has done, in the last 8 days, she's done £670 in online sales alone. So that's absolutely brilliant, Hayley, really well done. And I had to give her a bit of a mention on this slide. Nafisa Khan, £300 in 3 days. She posted on Facebook just recently that she was absolutely astounded by that. And there's my own little boast there at the bottom. £284. I managed to do that just in 2 days. So that's in addition to my catalogue orders. That was just online, and I did that over a couple of evenings, just following the system that I'm going to share with you now. So I was pretty excited by that. So what does this all mean for you? Well, I would say quite a lot if you want it to, and we're going to look at that just now. So why would you want to go online? Why would you want to sell online? I know lots of people have fantastic catalogue businesses already, and why would you want to go online? Well, obviously, it will help to increase your incomes. You know, we looked at the success stories just now, and who wouldn't want even a fraction of those extra orders? Also, you can create your own online success story, which is really powerful when talking to people about joining your business. So obviously we can use other people's success stories, and I've done that here this evening, but it's really, really exciting when you can use your own, and it does give you that kind of extra confidence of seeing and knowing that it's actually working for you. Also, you can work at home, and it really is working at home, or even, you know, in the coffee shop, or from the car, as I have done quite often. So for mums, carers, people who are tied to the home for some reason, and that does really, that affects many people these days. There's lots of reasons why people might just be tied to their home, and we do hear that a lot. So for those people, this is a real viable opportunity. It can also give you an edge in the networking side of the business, because by building your online business and by setting up your group and doing the things that I'm going to cover in a moment, you actually increase your contact list. So you meet new people, you connect with new people via Facebook, and they're all people that may potentially be interested in joining your business. It's also working knowledge of the new system. So when you think about it, if you want to encourage other people into the business who may be more inclined to go online, you really do want to have some form of working knowledge, even if it's limited, but you want to know for yourself how it works so that you can effectively help those people. And you've got nothing to lose, really, have you? It doesn't take a huge amount of time to set up online. It's not a huge commitment in terms of time. You don't have to sacrifice your family life or anything like that. In fact, you can do it whenever you want to. So you haven't really got much to lose by getting going online. So how do you start? If you're completely new to this, or perhaps you're new to the business entirely, how do you start getting online and getting orders online? Well, I would say there is some essential viewing to be had here. Part of your online training must be to go to the 10 Steps website that we've got listed here. They have recently updated their Get Started section. So now we've got a whole section dedicated to getting you started online. And there's a series of quite short YouTube videos which just take you through step by step everything that you need to do to get started. Now, for some people, you will just go through those videos and instantly know exactly what you're doing. For others, it might be a case of watching those videos a few times and then asking your sponsor for a little bit of help, and that's absolutely fine. Everyone goes at their own pace, but I would really recommend that everybody watches all of those videos straight away. I think the combined time of all of the videos, and I think there may be 7 or 9 videos, but I think it's only about 43 minutes, so you can easily watch all of them in an evening, and it's a great investment of your time in doing that. And actually, I have to confess, I have pretty much put this training together based on what's in there. So if you have watched those videos, this will be very familiar to you. So sorry about that, but it's duplication, isn't it, this business? So I've got some golden rules here. Like I say, I do recommend everybody goes and watches those videos, but my golden rules, if I could offer them, are: have your own Facebook selling group. That's an absolute must, because that's really the focus of your online business. It kind of acts like a customer base. So every time somebody buys or likes or shows any interest in a product that you're promoting, you want to encourage them to join your Facebook group. And the more people in there, the better. So that is kind of like your customer base. The people that are in that group are the ones that are going to keep buying from you over and over again. So that will start off small. When I first started, I think I added about 30 friends into it, but it's now almost at 700 members, my Facebook selling group. And when it got over 500 members, I really started to notice that people were coming to me with orders on quite a regular basis from that group. So keep going. It takes a little while to build it up, but just keep doing the activity that we'll talk about tonight. Also, know the best selling products. Obviously, everything sells. I've posted the most random things from the Clean Easy catalogue on my Facebook group before, and I've found that there's interest in everything, and it's actually surprised me. But when you're first getting going, it really is useful to know what the best sellers are, because it just gives you a head start, and it will generate some interest, give you some confidence, and it will give you some good early sales as well. Now, the best-selling products are published every week by Gavin Scott, so you can easily find the up-to-date best online selling list on Facebook. So you can join Gavin Scott's Terrier group if you're not already in that on Facebook, and have a look there. And also, we do have various team photo groups. We've got one, and I know Tracy and Harvey have one that lots of us are in as well. And the best-selling products are in those groups as well. I publish a list and the pinned post in mine, and you can always access that list from somewhere. If you're not sure where to find it, just have a chat with your sponsor, and they will certainly point you in the right direction to find that. Another biggie is you must use the stock checker. Now, I'm sure probably most people are familiar with this by now, but the stock checker is something that you access through your Clean Easy ordering site, and it's a really important tool for online sales, because you don't want to waste your time promoting a product which has sold out or is close to selling out. You have to remember that online things can change quite quickly. If somebody mentions on a Facebook forum that the product is selling really well for them, then often people will jump on that product and start promoting it themselves. And you've got about 5,000 people at the moment in Clean Easy that are on the online sales in some degree. So if something is selling well, chances are it may sell out quicker than other products. So you need to use the stock checker before you pick a product that you're going to advertise. Check the stock levels and just make sure that there's plenty of stock available. Now, when you get posting, you need to be doing the right numbers. And you hear this all the time in this business, don't you, that it's all in the numbers. But online selling is exactly the same as everything else. It's the same as catalogues. It's the same as with your sponsoring activity, how many people you're speaking to. You've got to view your online business in the same way. So you need to make sure that you're doing the right numbers of adverts. And we recommend posting 3 adverts as a minimum each day on at least 60 local Facebook selling groups. So I'll repeat that because it is so important. You need to be promoting 3 different products every day on at least 60 local Facebook selling groups. Now, often you can't find 60 that are completely local to you. Just go out a little bit further, and one of those videos is how to find Facebook selling groups, but just kind of broaden your range in terms of the locality, so that you're not going too further afield with your groups, because people do like to buy from local people as much as possible. But you must be in at least 60 of those local groups or localish groups in order to make this work for you. And that is a minimum as well. So 3 adverts a day as a minimum. Just start once you've got a whole list of groups, once you're in 60. And if you join between 5 and 10 groups each day, just depending on how long you've had your Facebook account, do take it steady. Maybe go with 5 if you're a bit newer to Facebook. But if you join 5 to 10 groups each day, then within 2 weeks you're going to have 60 groups there. So it doesn't take very long to build up to that level. And when you do have your 60 groups, you'll see them all in the left-hand side of your screen when you log into Facebook. You just start at the top, posting your advert, just go through each one. It is a little bit monotonous, but just do this while you're watching the TV. That's what I do. So just go all the way down to the bottom of your list, and then pick a new product and start again at the top, working all the way down, and just get your 3 adverts on there. You can do them at different times of the day as well. So you might do 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, 1 in the evening, just whatever suits you. Now, you need to, if you're going to grow your Facebook presence and you're going to build your Facebook selling group, you need to include within every advert that you place on a local selling group, you need to include a link back to your own selling group. Now, you can easily find this once you're in your selling group, once you've actually put yourself in and you've opened the selling group up on your screen. You can very easily just go into the browser at the top of your screen. You'll see the web address, and you can just quite simply copy and paste it. That's the easiest way of finding that. But you do need to make sure you include that as a link on every advert that you place. And the reason for that is that if you include it as a link, people will just click on it and join your group. Even if they're not too interested in the products that you've advertised, they'll just join your group anyway. And then it's more people in your group seeing all of the products that you've got in your group. So this is a really useful way of building the members of your group. And if some evenings you don't get as good a response to the products that you've promoted as other days, then you'll still have built the numbers in your group, which is so important. You also need to use edited photos. So we've got, again, like I said before, we've got team photos groups on Facebook that you will be a member of. If you're not, then just have a chat with your sponsor and they'll pop you into one of those groups. But you need to make sure that you are using edited photos. Now, the groups that have been set up to have all your edited photos in are designed to give you a fast start so that you don't need to learn straight away how to edit your own photos. You can just take the photographs from those groups and get them straight onto your group and into other local selling groups. And it just gets you off to a fast start before you learn how to do it yourself. But there's lots of photo editing suites available that you can get for whatever device you're using that just make it very, very easy for you. But when you get to that point, just have a chat with your sponsor. They'll be able to help you with that. And again, there are videos available on YouTube for how to edit photographs. Excuse me. And add 3 new products to your own group daily as well. So we talked about posting 3 adverts every day on other Facebook selling groups, and they are your adverts that are going to thousands of people that are the members of those groups. But do make sure that you don't neglect your own group and keep that fresh, because you're going to have people joining that all the time, so you want to keep fresh new products going in there. So make sure you're adding at least 3 new products to your own group every day, and you might want to do a few more. It's entirely up to you. So a few top tips, and then we're going to have a look at some kind of practical examples. Be really familiar with all of the payment and delivery options. People often ask, how do I take payment for the products when someone wants to order online? And the truth is there's loads of ways actually. And it just really depends on what you want to accept and what the customer wants to do. So we've got PayPal. That's really popular with customers because there is some security there for them. So they can pay you secure in the knowledge that if you don't send their product, then they can get their money back. Because if you think about it, you at the point where you're just building trust with people, a lot of people who order from you don't actually know you. So they're putting their trust in you to actually send the products, because if you're sending a product to somebody, then you will need to take payment in advance. So there is a trust issue there, and PayPal does really help to give them that confidence. As they get to know you and you deliver a few items to them or send them to them, they will be more than happy to pay by bank transfer or other means. That's what I found. Once they've had a few deliveries from you, they don't necessarily need to pay by PayPal. They're happy to do it other ways. So we've got PayPal for things that are being delivered direct to the customer where you're not actually delivering them, so you're not having that face-to-face contact. Clean Easy offer the drop ship option so that you can actually get your products straight to your customer with you not being involved, and this is where the PayPal option comes in really well because it means that they can pay you in advance. Often as well, what I will do is I will say that they can come and collect. So I will order the products with my weekly order, and I just let the customer know that they can collect on a certain date, and they'll come to my house and pay me in cash, which is easy peasy. I just tell them to come at a time that's convenient for me, usually after the school run in the evening, so that I know I'm going to be in. So again, that's another option. If they're local, people do on Facebook tend to assume that they will have to collect anyway, so that does keep it really, really simple for you. And also Clean Easy, you've got another option now where you can actually send them a direct link to pay you via PayPal, and they actually order the product themselves. So that involves them filling in their details and dealing directly with Clean Easy, although it's not branded, so they don't know it's Clean Easy, they just think they're dealing with you. So there are a number of payment and delivery options. These are all covered in the videos, by the way, so no need to remember all of this, just watch all of the videos when you have a moment. Also, this might sound like a bit of an obvious one, but round up anything that you're selling, which is £9.99, for example, round it up to £10. So the K-Life range is all rounded up anyway, so you don't get any 0.99 with those. But you want to be doing a mix of K-Life and Clean Easy, really. So the things that you find in the Clean Easy range usually are £5.99, £9.99, £14.99. So just round them up to the nearest pound. It just makes you look less like a business, because you want to come across on Facebook as though you are a person selling something. You don't want to look like it's a corporate business selling lots and lots of the same product, because it's social media, not business media. So keep it really friendly. And do get into a chat with people. When you are approached by somebody, if they are liking your product on Facebook or if they're commenting on it, I always take the discussion off the comments. I wouldn't have a long discussion with somebody in the comments, because firstly, I think it's annoying for other people, and also it's kind of personal as well. So I always take it off the comments box and send them a personal message, and then I'm just friendly with them, which is how it needs to be, really. Just have a chat with them about how they want to deal with the delivery and the payment, and just treat them like a friend. Another tip is to keep the link to your group, which we spoke about before, close to the top of your advert. I'll show you an example advert in a moment, but keeping the link back to your group close to the top just means that people will see it, because when people are scrolling through their news feeds, often the whole of your post won't be visible, and they'll actually have to click to see the whole post. Well, I don't know, but I would imagine a lot of people don't actually open up the entire post. So if your link is right at the bottom, chances are they won't see it. And I have certainly noticed a big difference. This was a tip that we got from Craig Skellen at the last 10 Steps workshop in Barnsley. About keeping the link close to the top, and since I've started doing that, I've noticed a big increase in the numbers of people that are joining my group, so I think that's an important one there. Now, if you are arranging delivery or you're arranging to sell something to somebody and they want to collect from you, don't panic about having to order the product in straight away. Remember that you're in it to make money, so you don't want to be paying delivery fees all the time. So just make sure that you put it together with a bulk order that you are going to place, or keep a tally of all the products that you're ordering. If you're just working online, just keep a running list of what you need to order, and then perhaps use the dropship discounted delivery once you're over £50. If it's for online orders, you can actually get that delivered directly to you for free. So you can use that, or if you're doing more than that, go for the £150. If you're in your first 2 months, you only need to order £150 of products anyway to get them delivered for free. So just keep going until you've got the right number of orders, and then put your order in with Clean Easy. If you're doing the activity constantly, you will get there pretty quickly, so don't panic, and just tell them that you're that they can collect after, say, Monday of next week, or whenever you imagine that you're going to be receiving your order, or tell them you'll let them know when it's available, or you'll let them know when you are available. So I wouldn't necessarily say to people that I was ordering the product in. I just tell people, if they say they want to collect, I just say, yeah, that's fine, but I won't be available until after next Tuesday. Is that okay? And they're always fine with that anyway. If they're not, they, of course, they will tell you. And they might then want to pay to get it delivered to them. But that's a conversation that you can have with them. Also, do keep order forms or a notebook with your orders in, and keep that handy, keep that next to your PC or next to your whatever device you're using when you're doing your online activity, because it's really difficult otherwise to keep track of who has ordered what. And I had it when I first started doing online selling seriously. It took off quite quickly, and I had a situation where a box came and I really wasn't sure who was coming for what on what day. And I was out one evening and got a frantic phone call from Dave saying someone had turned up and he wasn't quite sure which product they wanted and how much it was. So I realised then I had to have a bit of a better system. So what I would recommend is having a notebook or having a stack of order forms and write the details down just for you. You don't need to give them the order form, but it's just for you, so that you can write on there who's coming to collect, or who is receiving products, and just keep an idea for yourself of what's happening. Just helps you to organise yourself really, and you'll never remember, as I found out. So let's have a look at an example advert. This is one that I placed yesterday. A few tips on this is that less is most definitely more when it comes to your Facebook posts. So here this is one of the glow in the dark fairies. I didn't say really anything about them apart from they were a pair, because I think the picture speaks for itself. And really, I think that's all the information that is required. Sometimes things will require a bit of an explanation, like the towel bales. I think it's good to actually to say what's in the towel bale so people know what they're getting. But usually, if you can, just don't really say too much, because again, you look a bit more businesslike if you start going into loads of detail. And you'll notice here that the link to my selling group is really high up, so it's right underneath the actual title, Glow in the Dark Fairies, and then I've just put more great offers at, and then that is the link to my group there. So I just keep that high so that people click on that really, really easily. I'm making it as easy as possible for them to join the group, and always use smileys as well, the little emoticons. It seems daft saying this, but it really does make a big difference. And all the people that are doing really well on the online sales, they're all using them. So I think there's definitely something in that there. It's a daft thing really, but people really do like that. And I noticed that other people who comment use them as well. So make sure you're using your smileys, definitely. This here is an example of a conversation that you might have with somebody who has commented on your post. So this is a real life example of a conversation that I had with this guy who had commented on one of the cutlery sets, the 75-piece cutlery sets. And what I did with him, he'd commented, I think he'd said, "Where are you?" something like that. So I commented back and said, "Thanks, Andy, I'll message you." And that's exactly what I did. So I just clicked into him and sent him a message, and the conversation just went like this. So what you can see here actually is that he didn't respond to me for ages, but I didn't give up on him. So I think he kind of went off a bit. So on the 2nd of July, I'd spoken to him and then didn't hear anything from him for about a week after that. But I just carried on, because the thing is that people do forget. And what's really useful is if you are using Messenger, which I use, you can actually see if the person has seen your message, which is a bit like Big Brother, but it's really helpful with this, because I can tell if he's ignoring me. If he's seen the message and he's choosing not to respond, then I kind of would take the hint that he maybe didn't want the product anymore. But in this case here, I could tell every time I checked back, I could tell that he hadn't actually read the message. So that's why I kept going back to him. And eventually he did buy. So as you can see down at the bottom, he ended up doing it by PayPal. And what I have started to do is, as you'll see in some of the ones that I'm going to cover in a moment, sometimes I actually send them my email address so that they can pay me by PayPal, which a lot of people have started doing. But in this case, I actually sent him a request via PayPal to his email address, and then he paid, and then I used the dropship facility to get that cutlery set shipped from Clean Easy directly to him. So that's just a really kind of typical example of what will happen. But what you will notice, I suppose, is there's quite a lot of dialogue there. So, you know, some people just want to buy straight away, but with a lot of people, you do need to kind of chat them up a little bit and just be kind of friendly with them before they decide to go ahead. But that's fine. And he's in my group now and is liking and commenting on lots of other products as well. So discussing payment options, which is another question that I get asked quite a lot about the payment options. I think this is where people get a bit confused about how they can kind of take payment when they're getting it sent directly. So this kind of shows a typical conversation that you might have with somebody about that. And this was a really chatty lady. This lady has actually ordered another load of stuff from me just this week. So she's a good customer here. But she actually messaged me saying, "Hi, love, how can I order one, please?" And I actually had no idea which product it was because I'd been advertising that many. So moving on through the conversation, we just had a chat about it. I always say this: you can collect from us in S10 Crosspool, which is where we are, or I can get it delivered to you for £3.95, which would be best for you. I always ask that question at the end because then I feel like they have to come back to me. So she had to think about it, decided on PayPal. She actually corrected me. I'd given her the wrong address. I'd actually undersold it. I'd done myself out of a fiver there, I think. But fortunately, she realised. So she sent the payment across, and I shipped that directly to her. So it's really simple. Once you know how to do this, it's just kind of the same conversation you have with everybody, really. Some people will want to come and collect, some people will want to get it delivered, and that's absolutely fine. So importantly, if you're not aware, just make sure that you add on £3.95 for the delivery charge, because that's what you will end up paying if Clean Easy are sending it via dropship, and it's under £50. So there's another example here of discussing payment options. This was for one of the tap duos, or a couple of them, I think. What happened here was the tap duos, if you're familiar with that item, it's really, really small and really light. And I knew that I could send a tap duo in a little jiffy bag for £2.80 using Royal Mail second class as a small parcel. So what I did in this situation was I didn't really think it was justifiable charging this guy £3.95 to get it shipped directly from Clean Easy when he just wanted one. So what I did was I just ordered this tap duo with my normal weekly order, and when it came I just posted it out to him. He paid me on PayPal. And so I had the money there already, and I just posted it out to him. So again, it's just little things that you can do. Once you get into this, you'll kind of find your feet. You'll start finding your own best ways of doing things. But smaller items, you can get away with just posting yourself. Another example here of a conversation that I had with somebody, and this just sort of illustrates being flexible where you can and following people up, because this lady was really interested in the Nardia bedding, but she did say to me at the time that she couldn't pay until the 1st of July. So I can't remember what date she initially said that. Oh, actually it's there, isn't it? The 19th of June. So it was about 10 days. before she was going to be actually going ahead with that order. So I just followed her up. We had a bit of a chat, and then when it came to the 1st of July, I did actually follow her up. I tend to go through my messages on Messenger maybe once a week and just see who, if anybody, does need a bit of a reminder, because you know, people are just busy and they forget these things. So I went back to her, and she did still want to go ahead, and I ended up delivering that to her at her work, which was actually in Sheffield city centre. Now, I did that because it was easy for me to do that, and it actually meant that Dave could drop it off on the way into work, which was really, really easy. So, you know, just be flexible, and as much as you can, give good customer service to them, and just try to kind of fit in around them. Obviously, sometimes you can't, but do what you can to just be flexible, and definitely always follow them up. So a couple of tips on how to build the number of members in your Facebook selling group. Now, it really, really matters. The more people you have in your group, the more money you're going to earn, and that's a fact. You're probably familiar with Zoe Klimpson. She's got, I don't actually know how many she's got in her group now, but it's in the thousands, and she's doing amazingly well. I think she did about £5,000 or £6,000 just in online orders last period alone. So that's a nice little earner for her. It's a big earner for her. And she's just consistently built the numbers in her group to get to that point. So what can you do to build your own group? And this is something that you can do straight away. Definitely add your friends and family to your group. That's really simple to do, and it's an absolute must. And then ask them to add some of their friends to the group as well. So you can, with people that you're really, really friendly with, maybe you just send them a little message or speak to them and just ask them to add some of their friends and family. With other people, maybe you just put a post on your group asking people to do that. But people who are friendly with you will want to help you, of course. So you often find that people will add one or two, and then you do find the odd gem that goes on to add 50 or so to your group. You wake up one morning and some lovely person has added about 50 people to your group. I know that's happened to lots of us who are on here tonight, so that's nice when it happens. You can also send a welcome message to new members and ask them to add people. That's quite a nice little touch, makes people feel valued. So why not do that? And send a message to people that have liked who have liked your posts in other groups. So if you've posted an advert for the pug bedding, let's say, in a local selling group, and somebody has liked it, well, you can send them a private message just saying, thanks for the like, would you be interested in joining my group, or please join my group, and again put the link to your group so that they can easily do that. Do be careful of sending too many messages to people that you're not friends with on Facebook, so don't go crazy with that, but the odd one is absolutely fine. And what about running a competition for members of your group to add people? There's a few of us who have done this recently, and it's worked really, really well. It's highly effective. So you can always think about doing that as well, and maybe run it for 10 days. The person who adds the most people to the group wins a little prize. So perhaps think about that. And like I said before, I think this is really important, it's worth repeating, add your address link to your group in all of your product adverts. Now, once you've got a few members in your group, you'll start to see things happening. So this is kind of a typical thread, typical comments that I get on the posts that I put in my group these days. So you can see, I think this was something that I put in last night. I can't remember what it was actually now. I think it was the fairies. They did really well. But a few people commented, a few people said that they wanted one. Amanda Eckersley is actually my sister-in-law, and Facebook selling groups, having your own Facebook selling group is really effective for your warm market ordering from you, I can tell you. Amanda lives in Bristol, so I wouldn't nip around there with a catalogue, but she is brilliant at buying from me online. She's always wanting the things that I post on my group. And I send her regular orders via dropship now. So it's fantastic. And she also added somebody to my group about a month ago who last period, I think she only added one person, but that one person last period placed a £78 order through my group. And that's somebody that I personally didn't know, but she told me that she was friends with my sister-in-law. So that's the power of networking. It's well worth having this group and getting your friends and family into it. Another example here of the kind of things that start happening, which just I think shows that good regular customers can be found online on Facebook. This is a lady called Becca who is a member of my group. I didn't know her at all before I started doing this, but she is amazing. She comments on everything, she likes everything, she wants to order pretty much everything that I put on my group, and she sends me a message like this, so you can see how excited she is. She started off saying, great, thank you so much. I think that was because I said that I would save something for her. And then she wants to order something else, something else, something else. Her order just keeps going up and up and up. And she's even talking that she'll have to break it down into 2 orders, one for August and one for September, because she wants so many things. So who wouldn't want a customer like that? And the other thing that you'll notice that I did here, if you just read through my comments back to her, which are in blue, I did actually mention the opportunity to her as well, because you can do this with people on Facebook. If they're interested enough to buy loads from you, then it makes sense to offer the opportunity to them as well, because they obviously like the products and they're obviously on Facebook and they're in your group, so they can already see how it's working and they know it's working because they're ordering hundreds of pounds worth of products from you. So I'll be keeping this lady quite warm, and I'm sure she'll be joining me before Christmas, even though she kind of ignored that comment, but I will keep going with her. So what are your next steps then? Well, again, I would highly recommend essential viewing. Make sure you watch all of the online sales videos at the 10steps.info website. So go there straight away if you can and start watching those videos. That's absolutely key. And then once you've watched them, just get posting. That's all you need to do. If you need a chat with your sponsor before you start doing that, of course, that will be absolutely fine. They'll be more than happy to help you. But just get going with it. The best way to learn anything is to just do it, isn't it? So just get posting, and that's it. So good luck, and if we can help in any way, please do get in touch, but best of luck with it. Just follow the tips there, follow the video tutorials on the 10 Steps website, and you will be making money from online sales in no